welcome. This is the full moon in Cancer. These are the 5 things you need to know about this full moon in Cancer happening January 6th. We feel the energy of it 3 days before and 3 days after. So we're in it. You're welcome. We're in it. So I invite you to pull out a piece of paper or take notes in your phone. This seems so spot on. You know, some of them I'm like, oh, that resonates, that's like, okay, I guess I can make that, like, I could see where that could be uncovered. This one feels 100% spot on. And Leo is here to say amen and hallelujah. Right, Leo? Yes, he agrees. All right, so here's the 5 things you need to know. Cancer is emotions. So embrace you are enough to receive love. Embrace you are enough to receive opportunity, love, money, fill in the blank. Whatever, just notice, and we'll go through these, there are areas that get to be uncovered, and how this being a winter season, and this is something that I, scrolled across on social media, and I thought it really landed for me. We talk about it a lot in Women on Fire and in Tribe about sacred tree and how everything has a season. So we're in the season of winter. In winter, the leaves have all fallen off the tree and have become mulch and nutrients in the ground. There is hibernation happening. We are in a process of emulsifying our lessons of the year. So the fact that it's like new year, new you, and make your resolutions and your intentions for the year, frankly, really not the season. It's a good time for introspection, for doing the inner work, such that I am enriching my soil with the lessons I have learned in order that my seeds may grow. Okay, I hope someone wrote that down, because that was pure channeling right then and there. Thank you. Okay, so number 1. New venture, new beginnings. New moon in Capricorn that we had in December, we planted seeds. It was also the solstice, the shift of the year, the darkest day. We're on the upswing into birth, rebirth, new ideas, new ventures, new relationships, stepping into the new year. It ain't time yet, though, so let's not rush it. And I'm sure there is an attribution to this, but we don't make that 90-degree turn. We make a 1% change a day. If I take on one thing, like I'm focusing on my health, I'm moving my body in a new way once a day. I took a dance class. I am going to Pilates. I rode my bike yesterday. 1% change, not I am now in a 5-hour fitness program every day. I am lifting, it is the 1% change gives us the sustainable changes in our lives over time. So, but what's interesting is you may have had visions or awarenesses about the seeds you planted, the ideas that are coming up in your mind as to what you're stepping into in this 7 year, which Laura is going to talk about. And there may be fear or hesitation or nervousness around all of these changes that are happening. So it's an opportunity to just notice, am I contracting versus expanding? Is there something coming up that gets to be healed? This is the season of it. In hibernation, we turn inward, introspective, doing the inner work. There are lots of changes. A comment, I don't know about you, but everybody I talked to over the holiday had massive changes. My friend lost both of her parents. I moved my entire house around, like reorganized everything. Just swooping changes, and it's new energy. That's amazing. The new energy is great. You are creating space for new opportunities, new love, new abundance to come into your space. But it can be scary because what was comfortable and or common is the word I'm coming up with, but that feels we recognize it. It's what we know, and we're shifting it. And whether consciously or unconsciously, we are doing this, and it's stirring stuff up, and it's meant to stir stuff up. Good, congratulations, you're doing it right. So you are creating the space for what's next. Excited but responsible for what I create. It's a 7 year, 7 days a week, 7 chakras. It's the lessons, as Laura will talk into. You've either learned the lesson or you're getting to learn it again. And if you've learned the lesson, this is a lucky year. Lower your shield and unlock your actual gifts. But we get to be vulnerable in order to do that. So like it's really stepping out into the unknown, but that's where the real magic happens. That's where what we say we want, actually, the skinny branches is where it lives. Number 2, focus on you. Law of attraction. What are you expecting is what you get. So vibrate an emotion of what you want. If I say, it's hard to make money, I can't get that. What you're just bringing more of that. So what do you want to bring more of? I want to bring more abundance, more joy, more love, more opportunity. And how do I get to embody that? This is the opportunity to practice the embodiment of it. What's bringing me joy? Double down on your joy. I mean, I listen to Abraham Hicks at least once a day. She always shifts my vibration. And is there a tool that you have in your toolkit or that you get to discover this year that turns up the volume on your vibration? The second part of it is law of cause. If we think it will happen, it will. So I have to work for money. The law of cause, I caused this to happen, being in co-creation with what you're creating. Transform and reveal your gifts. And how many of us have been told, I'm too big, I'm too loud, fill in the blank, I'm too this, I'm too that. Saying it has to be hard, grinding it out. I know how many of us, we talk about this all the time, is doing for doing's sake versus doing the aligned right action. Also, there is the law of ebb and flow, of cycles. It's same thing as sacred tree, of seasons. If we're in a contraction, no, there has to be. It's just the law of this universe we're in, that the pendulum will swing the other way. The sooner you remember that, the sooner it comes to you, the sooner it swings the other way. All right, number 3, we're in seasonal sadness. Hibernation, it's not sunny here in sunny California. It bums me out. I'm so affected by the weather outside. So we're prone to, how many of us have seen that Planet Fitness commercial about low E? I think that's so funny. Low E or low energy, but it's true. Seasonal sadness. We're going inward, so we can become sad. But the cold is an opportunity for clarity. The crisp coldness sharpens our vision as to what we want to create when the thaw occurs. When the thaw of my heart occurs, when I let down my shield, when I open my heart to be healed. I can't heal it behind the shield. Oh my goodness. Winter helps us slow down, be with our emotions. In fact, one of the things we're doing in Women on Fire, we're in the middle of the Pussy book, Pussy Reclamation. And this week we're into swamping. Rupture happens. Our culture in this patriarchal society has told us we're too emotional, too big, too tantrumy, too whatever, fill in the blank. But we as divine feminine vessels And the feminine in all of us gets to throw a temper tantrum, gets to express. Otherwise we store it in our body and it creates dis-ease. So the opportunity, and for those who've taken my courses, we do it in the Wild Woman 3-day. We do it in Spark, and we also do it in Woman on Fire. Swamp. Get a trash bag, cut a hole in it, I'll put a playlist in this. Your screamingest, maddest, upset playlist. Get clear on what is upsetting you, what you're stuck in, what you're pissed about, what you're frustrated, and dance it out for 2 to 3 songs. Punch your way through that trash bag. Release those emotions that get stuck in our body. It is important that it is a demand the divine feminine lead in this. Otherwise, it causes friction. It causes friction on the planet. We are that potent. We control everything. Those that are pussy holders control everything. All right, I'm going to stop this rant. Compounded emotional expansion. I like this term. Compound emotional expansion. That's joy upon joy upon joy. That knowing, that divine knowing of, Leo loves it too. Expansion in the womb and sacral clearing for birthing of new things, new relationships, projects, space to create. Again, clearing out our womb space, our sacral space. That is where we create life. It's where we create ideas, it's where we birth new ideas, new relationships. Number 4, okay, I'm going to keep trucking through here. Number 4, connection to ancestors or community, creating new or deep-rooted community. Anchor who you are and who you are becoming. Community accelerates this. How many of us have felt like we don't belong, or maybe have outgrown our physical family? Maybe they don't understand the journey we are on, the awakening we are having the emotional intelligence that we're gaining. That's okay. We go first in order to bring them along, and they'll come along when they are ready for it. We can't force it upon others. However, you don't have to be alone in your expansion, in your awakening. The feminine desires to be in community. And we have grown up in a society, me included, I so resonate with this, of doing it myself. It doesn't count if I do it in community. I'm weak if I am supported in this. Versus, and those who are in my circles, and in this circle, frankly, Daily Kickstart has been a big one of these community circles where expansion happens, where our awakening, our awarenesses, our gifts are unfolding, and we're in a supportive community that, whether they understand it or not, accepts us for who we are in the place that we are at right now. So find yourself community, lean into a community. It's so crazy. It's such an aha moment in a lot of our circles, the circles I hold, Women on Fire, where, wow, I didn't realize how much I desired to be witnessed by other women, to share what's actually going on, not sugarcoating it, not having it look Instagrammable, and sharing my truth gives me freedom to be me, gives me freedom for my expression, and frankly accelerates your manifestations, your growth, your who you're unfolding and becoming. So important. So lean into a circle. Maybe that's a church. Maybe that's your family. Maybe that's a new lover. Maybe that's a girlfriend group. Maybe a girlfriend group that you used to go to happy hour with also isn't ready for that, and you get to seek out a new group. Go to that breathwork class. Go to that yoga class, go to the exercise class, whatever that is that you are called to, and just notice if you are called, like, oh, I should walk into that. It's like when Laura and we were going out to dinner when I was in Florida, and we were walking in, we noticed there's this store, like, that store, that's just calling us. And we walk in and she knows the person standing right there. And next thing you know, Laura has become in partnership with the guy who owns the store, and she's doing her sessions through his storefront, trusting those nudges. All right, number 5, I'm moving into this. Oh, wait, I'm number 4. This is just a little note. Number 4, what type of people do you want to be around? Write this down. People who accept me, people who expand me, people who bring joy, and I bring joy too. So write that down. Letting go of needing to be right. How many of us are right and righteous? Raise your hand. I am one of these. It is a way to bypass our emotion. We also bypass the manifestation too. What? I'll say that again for those in the back. When I need to be right, when I am right and righteous, it is a way to bypass the emotion. When we bypass the emotion, we are also bypassing the manifestation. Okay, my work here is done. All right, but I have one more. All right, write that down. So why do we have it? It's a good prompt. Why do you feel you have to be right? Why is this emotion showing up now? Okay, number 5. What part of me doesn't feel fully at home in this physical body? Inner child, stop hiding. What are you hiding? Something deep. We're in the winter season. Again, opportunity to go deep. Have I felt like I didn't belong? Time to let that go. Acting like I'm not ready. That's not fair to you. You're ready. You're ready to be ready to be ready. So now is the time. If you're waiting for a sign, there isn't a signier sign than this sign. Ding, ding. And with that, I mean, that was a lot. And I feel like this moon lands for me. I'm like, okay, I hear you, Cancer moon. So do this work this time. Again, we are in Mercury retrograde. So don't make big contracts, but it's not big action time. It's big reflection time. It's creation time. It's take out your coloring books and color time. Allow the downloads to come, but do the inner work. Now is the time. All right, I'm putting a period on that. Let me know it resonated. I want to hear about it. What resonated for you? Those who are on stage. Yes, please share. All right, I'm recording this. So this is a process that I invite you to take some time with. And I've done this in Women on Fire and in Tribe also, but every single time I do it, and frankly, it's an invitation while we are here to reflect. As things are going on, you can flip through doing this. You can do this while you're watching TV, and then stop and do the inner work part of it. But the process is this. Take out your calendar for 2022, whether you use your phone or you use an actual physical calendar, whatever you use. Go back through starting with January 2022. Look at the month, go through week by week and write down everything you accomplished or you did. What you'll notice is where there were hiccups. If you remember last year, December last year, and into January, I had probably undiagnosed COVID, where I was just out for 3 weeks, and it really brought up this feeling of helplessness and how tied I am to my doing, and how I felt really I had no value in the world. I went to a pretty dark place, and to reflect on that. And what are the lessons? Did I take the lesson from that? So that's number one. And then I traveled to Mexico a couple of times. I signed new clients in January. I signed 3 new clients. In February, I went to Nashville and we started, for Comedy Gives Back, we started doing recovery meetings at all of the festivals. Now it's a staple thing. So going month by month, I started a new job. I ended a relationship. I started a workout routine. I started eating differently. I moved to a new location. Just the facts, right? The facts of the situation. Write down your data. That's number one. And that's something you can just flip through. Don't overthink it. Just like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Oh, I went to this. Oh, I went to the show. I met this person. Write it down. That's part one. Part two is then this is one you don't want to, you want to be in, in a quiet space, maybe put on one of the Goddess Process playlists of meditation music or transformational music in the background, ceremonial music. So you kind of drop in. What is the lesson I learned from this? Oh, I like to travel. Oh, I like Nashville. That was my first time in Nashville. I really like it. I love the tacos there. I'm really proud that we created these recovery meetings and that they're institutionalized. Lesson I learned is I get to take better care of my health, that I get to ask for help when I'm not well. Again, last year I powered through and did not ask for help when I was sick. And how much longer am I not going to ask? Whether that's in business or in my health, in my love life, in my sexuality, in my fill in the blank. So what are the lessons I learned? And going through, and some may be really easy and some may be deep. And so just reflect, what's the lesson I learned from this? And then the third piece is to go back through those lessons and circle the ones that you are taking into 2023. I am collaborating this year. I am focusing on my health. I am up for big expansion. I'm consumed a lot of content in 2022. This year, I make the content. So what are the lessons I am taking into 2023? And so that when you have that list, and it doesn't have to be a long list. You can look at it and go like, okay, those are great lessons. I learned them, especially going to a year of 7, which Laura will talk into. We get to like, what are the lessons I didn't learn? What are the ones I get to embrace this year and expand upon? What am I building upon? This is the foundation of the year I am stepping into. And so you are then in co-creation, as we talk about for this full moon. It's a perfect process to do. You are in active co-creation with the life you desire, with what you want this unfolding to look like, not in reaction, but in creation of it. I am 100% responsible for 100% of my results. And when I do processes like these, I get to see my growth. I get to acknowledge it and celebrate it. And I get to take this and move it forward because if we just go on, then we're continue to repeat and repeat and repeat, right? Now we are consciously creating what we're stepping into in 2023. I hope that this served you. I'd love to hear what bubbled up and what are the lessons that you are taking moving forward. Anyone want to share?